what are things that you say to yourself?
Oh my goodness. I don't know that you would want to hear them all. I think that you're not good enough, that you're stupid, that you don't measure up, that you can't do it right, all that.
Right. Will you go back and talk a little bit about when you were your first pregnancy?
Oh, sure. I was 18, not married, had no support at home. And so I chose at about 6 months pregnant to give my baby up for adoption.
Right.
When I had him, I lived with my sister the whole time I was pregnant because my mom and dad had moved. Anyway, and so it was like the non-topic, like don't call and mention that you're pregnant, don't say anything, whatever. And so
the shame, right? I mean,
yeah, for sure. And then when I had him, my mom was actually there because my sister had called her or whatever. And she said, well, the least you can let me do is see my grandson before you throw him away.
So was she mad that you? Oh. So she wanted you to keep him?
No, but she felt like I was just throwing him away, which was further from the truth. But the dad of this baby was on drugs and abusive and all that. And he would phone and say that he was going to chop us in pieces and stuff. And I went to church the whole time I was pregnant. And like I stopped going to choir, I stopped going to youth, I stopped doing all of that. But as soon as I had him, I was asked to leave because it was a bad example.
I can't imagine.
So it sent me on about a 10-year spin of, God doesn't care.
Because we relate with the churches that that's...
Like obviously God doesn't care.
Right.
So when he asked me to leave, I just left and thought, I'm done, So turned to lots of things that weren't.
And so you leave the hospital that day without a baby.
Right.
And I can't imagine.
Yeah, it was rough walking out. The loneliest I've ever felt probably. And then...
And was your mom, was she comforting to you?
No, she wasn't even there. She had left.
So you walk out by yourself?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then my sister asked me to leave as soon as I'd had the baby. Anyway, it was a long, complicated story, but she asked me to leave. And then the dad of the baby killed himself like a month and a half later. So, but he blamed me. Like he just wrote this whole story about how it was my fault and blah, blah, blah. So it was hard.
Well, and I love adoption stories, and I know you do too,
I
because
do.
we watch all the adoption
reunion stuff. Just watch.
And 10. So, like for me as an adoptive mom, like I can't think of a more selfless act that you did, that you gave up, because you knew as an 18-year-old single, I'm not going to give this baby the life that he deserves.
Right.
And so people are like, why would so many people like your mom thought you're just throwing, and it couldn't be farther from the truth. And it was out of an act of love that you did that.
Right.
And like to me, like Jaden's birth mom is like my hero because she's changed my life forever.
Right.
And I can't think like, what would my life be like without Jaden? And it's like, it's the best gift that I've ever, I mean, you can give me diamonds, you can give me, and there's no gift that would even compare to the gift. And so I just want to applaud you because like, that's the most selfless, beautiful act. And whether he realizes that, and maybe he doesn't realize that, and maybe, but it doesn't, but think about the life that he would have had. I want to ask you, what would you say to this person?
Oh, where did you get that photo from, Cynthia?
Isn't she
did
pretty?
You get that from Did you get that from Kaylee?
No.
Where'd you get it from? Oh, Facebook?
No.
Okay, well, that was when I was 18, actually.
So was this after the baby or before? Were you pregnant?
No, that was before, I think, like right before.
And so knowing what you know now and the life that you've lived, what would you say to this person? Because
this is the hard part.
Yeah.
This is not fun, no. I would hope that, first of all, I'd hope that my girls made different choices than I made, right? But I would also hope that I would know that I wasn't the person that everybody claimed I was,
Right. But this person is stronger, I think, than she ever knew she would. Gave herself credit
out
for
of having to be, though.
You've done it.
Yeah. And now I'm on the other side of adoption, so that's fun.
It is. And this person I mean, you should be proud of this. This person would be proud of you today.
I can't believe you have that picture.
Isn't
It's
it?
funny. I have like 3 pictures of me growing up, and that's one of them. Imagine that.
But you have overcome so much, and you are resilient. You get knocked down and you get back up again, and that's what we're supposed to do. And you're so resilient, and you have such a testimony, and you know, with leading beyond brokenness and all that. And it's like you have this story to tell because you've walked it, and you're on the other side of it, and you can help people that, you know. And so like you've walked
Through some stuff,
right? And so I just know that like our theme is bloom, and it's like you grow where you are, like the seed is planted in a dark place, you know, and that's when the roots grow in that dark place. And so I know that is so true of your life. And there's a quote that I want to read that reminded me when I was reading it. I thought about you. I will never feel ashamed for any part of my story. I have been lost and broken and shattered into a million pieces. I have laid the darkest, most vulnerable parts of me on the table, the naked pieces of heart, visible for everyone to see. And they don't look like they once did, because each of those experiences, every moment that I have lived, has shaped me to be who I am today.
Right.
So yes, if you want to talk, let's talk. Ask me the question so I can show you what God did with all of the pieces and how He fit them together to make me who I am and who I was called to be.
Pretty good.
And that's why you're leading beyond brokenness, because you don't just keep those. You want to share that with other people. And so I just want to, in front of all the ladies at church, just applaud you for the courage and just the transparency and the resiliency that you live, because it's inspiring and it is making a difference. And you should be proud of your story and how far you've come, and God is using you.